Hi folks, it's Kieran here. Today I'm in the car park. I've got the flat bar and I'm going to revisit a trick that I've not done for some time. Frontside board slides. I've learnt how to do them in the past. I can do them. It's been a while since I've done one. I've never done them on this flat bar for a couple of reasons that absolutely terrify me, which I'll explain. Okay, so for the frontside board slide, you come up with your front side facing the rail, you pop, you slide, and you basically slide backwards. Now there are two things that scare me about this trick. One is unique to this flat bar, and that is this flat bar is not bolted down. It's got like a sticky pad on the bottom to stop it from moving around very much. But my big concern is that I'll pop into it, hit it and push the whole flat bar because, you know, I'm a hefty boy, and there will just be a mess of me and flat bar and ball just all rolling over there. In order to like stop that from happening, I know that I need to commit to like properly getting on top of it rather than sort of slamming into the side like this. That's pretty like, it's a common thing to do when you're learning it because it feels safer to slide like to hit it like this rather than really commit to getting onto the top. And that's also the second thing that is terrifying about this trick. I have in the past pitched myself backwards off of the bar that I learned how to do this, which is square at Adrenaline Alley, and that's never, you know, nice. You know, it's terrifying. You fly backwards and it's not good fun. Again, I think the reason I've done this is on a square bar, if you just don't quite get onto it right, the momentum all stops and it just chucks you off. I think there are two ways that will help this. One, I think the round bar will help because I can get onto it. And if I'm not perfectly on it, if my weight is still turning this way, I will still sit on top. There's no like harsh move from here to here. It will just sort of like roll over. So I'm thinking in that sense, this flat bar will help. The other thing, again, it just goes back to my previous point. I have to commit to getting on top of it. I can't like half-ass it and try and hit it like this. I need to make sure that I'm getting up on the top like this, weight nice and even, so that I can slide it off. Like I said, I've done it in the past. The ones I've done have always been pretty sketchy. There's a few that I think I'm kind of happy with. To be honest with you, today, obviously, I intend to land it because I should be able to land it. I've landed it before, but I will be stoked if I can just get myself to commit to jumping on top of it and sort of like getting my full weight up on top of it. I feel like that would be a big step that I can take forward. But there's no reason I shouldn't be able to land it. I'm going to just start off super slowly, like aim towards the edge of the bar and just try and get on top of it and get that pop and aim it all right. And then, you know, build it up from there, hopefully get a land. I'm not expecting to be doing any sort of big, massive slides on this thing today. Certainly not with this trick, or any trick, let's be honest. But yeah, if we can just get over that sort of mental hurdle of jumping onto this particular bar front side, yeah, that'd be it. I'd call that a successful session. And obviously the aim is to try and land it. So yeah, as always, I'm talking about it rather than doing it because it's much easier to talk about doing these things than it is to actually get on with them. So yeah, let's stop chit-chatting and try and just jump on the board onto the rail. It's that easy, right? Ah, it's so scary. It's such. Okay, a few minutes of trying. I managed to get one, managed to land one, commit both feet, get one, land, roll away, cool. But I knew this before I watched it back, but I watched it back anyway, just to be sure. I am literally jumping on right here, like right at the end of the bar, because it's safe. This is something really common with anyone learning any sort of board slide, is you think that by jumping on near the end of the bar, you know, something's less likely to go wrong, you haven't got to slide so far, which is kind of true. The downside is it's all very sudden. You hit the bar and then you're coming off. It's very jerky. So I'm going to struggle to consistently land the trick like that. And the other thing is it doesn't look good. It's more like a, I don't know, frontside board tap rather than a board slide because the board's not really sliding anywhere. So I know what I need to do is push myself to aim a little further back on the board, on the rail, maybe like the last third. In order to do that, I probably need to go a little bit quicker, just to make sure I can slide through. Yeah, because I've kind of been through all of this with backside board slides for so long, like I know what I'm doing wrong with the front boards. I know what I need to do to improve them, but it's always the same, like actually doing it and like knowing what to do and actually being able to put that into practice. It's two completely different animals. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and make a point of popping a little bit, like aiming a little bit earlier onto the board, onto the bar. And we'll see how that goes. Right, I just watched it back and I'm pretty happy with it. Like, obviously I'm not going to be super happy because I've got this idea in my mind of what I want them to look like, but that is the best one I've ever done. I got on before the support and slid, and yeah, I came out to regular, which is great. So still not fully in control. It felt a bit hit and hope, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm okay with that. And if the session was to end right now, like you can see these clouds behind me, pretty mean. If it chucks it down in rain, I'll still be stoked with what I've achieved today just by getting that one. Two things I need to focus on. One, just making sure when I pop I keep on my land on top of the bar, like sit on top of it. That's the switch, that's where I'm going to gain the control and the feel of the slide to land the trick properly. And two, try and keep this leading shoulder just turned so that I keep coming out to regular. I think that was the key with that one. I just had that shoulder turned enough that I didn't come down like all four wheels square, so I could, you know, actually roll away, whereas the ones before I was coming down in a non-rolly position. That's the technical term, which is why I was flying off in all weird sort of angles, because the momentum obviously stops. So yeah, gonna keep going with that. I'm trying to get them to regular, not to fakie. I think if I try and aim for fakie, what will happen is I'll just end up doing a backside 180 where I tap the board on the rail halfway through. It's definitely how I started doing backside board slides. I would just do a front 180 with a little tap. If you're out there and that's how you do them, that's fine. Like you can do the trick, that's for sure. But the next step is sort of like gaining that control to choose which way you want to come out, and you gain that by sliding further and having that two-stage turn where you turn onto the bar and turn out by choice. So I'm trying to avoid that stage and just skip straight onto the understanding where my body is and how I'm positioned on the rail so I can come out the way I want. Whew. Let's try and get a couple more. Like, it's getting darker. It's not. I think it's gonna rain. I'm making excuses. This is typical me. I'm happy with what I've achieved, so I'm looking for an excuse to quit rather than keep battling this and potentially take another few hits. But yeah, let's get on with it. 2 for 2. Oh no! Robbed by my toe. Right, I just landed 5 back to back to back. I made that emphasis of like leading this shoulder a little bit more, and that means I'm rolling away. I am jumping on a little bit later than I was for that one that I was really happy about. So yeah, I need to make a point of just pushing myself a little bit further back, getting a bit more of a slide. These ones are all a bit jolty, but you know, regardless, it's success. Like if you can start landing a trick somewhat consistently, that's good. You're obviously doing something right, and you just need to keep tweaking it from there. So here's the plan. I want to do at least 4 more. That'll get me to 10, and then I will probably call the session there, but we'll see how quickly these come. I feel like I've made some really good progress this evening. I'm really pleased with this. I feel like the next time I come down, I'll have the confidence to, you know, within a few tries start jumping on and sliding these, and over time I can start building them and pushing them further and further back. There's no way I'm going to be able to like do any really big long slides on this one today. It's not worth even going down that road. But yeah, like just like I did with the backside board slide, start that last third of the rail, get comfy with that, push it back until we're happy with it. So yeah, I am stoked so far. Let's try and grab 4 more. If they come really quickly I might carry on, but probably not. my belly's rumbling and I want to go home. And when you've got a big belly like me, you have to listen to it because it's like 90% of my being. So yeah, let's grab 4 more and we'll go from there. Oh. Oh. I think I may have hit my trip. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Fuck. Okay, calling it there. I managed another 6 more for 12 in total. Kept going at the end. I like to just once I've done the amount I want to do for the session, I like to just keep going to see how many more I can do in a row. So I was able to get the extra 2, which is good. I'm going to leave every attempt in so you can see it wasn't all every single try super consistent. As always, I decided about how many I was going to do to finish the session, and then I stopped thinking about the trick and started thinking about what I'm having for dinner. And as a result, it takes me a little while to refocus and actually land something. But yeah, stoked. Obviously took that massive slam. That wasn't fun at all. Proper got ejected off. Basically, the flat bar got stuck between my wheel and my deck and just obviously completely stopped. Luckily, it felt like it threw me high enough and it was all happening slow enough that I didn't just completely eat shit and whiplash back. I was able to sort of stay rigid and stay upright. So yeah, it hurt, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And I guess it was inevitably going to happen. It has every time I've tried frontside boardside, that's happened at least once. So you know, the trick couldn't let me get away scot-free. But yeah, super stoked with that in the end. I'm feeling really positive about it now. I know I need to keep working on them, keep coming down and doing them over time, improve it, push it a little bit further and further, and just slide a bit further. I've got a feeling when I watch this back in the edit, I'm going to be a bit disappointed with myself because I'm going to be like, oh, well, they didn't slide very far. But that's fine. Neither did my backside boardside to start with. Remind yourself that, Kieran. And then, yeah, over time, we'll just push it a little further, just so we start feeling more and more confident with it. And yeah, we'll get there. So, stoked. Huge thank you for watching. Everyone who takes time out of their day to watch these videos, I really, really appreciate it, especially because I talk a lot sometimes and don't skate very much sometimes. That's definitely how the ratio of this video been. Lots of talking, little snippets of skating. So if you take the time out of your day to watch it, I super appreciate it. You're all amazing people. So yeah, anyone with anything that could help at all, tips, ideas, just anything that can help me with this trick, please leave it in the comments below. It means it's super helpful when I get those little things that just it's quite often that's the last little bit I need to unlock the trick. So if you're watching it and think this is what you need to do, leave it down there. I really appreciate everyone who does that because, like I said, it helps me. It helps me push forward and improve. And quite often it can help someone else as well if they're reading it. Yeah, I'm just waffling now. Huge thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. I'll see you next time. Boo!